Hi everyone, my name is Madi. Welcome to my page. I am on a journey to open up a nonprofit. So in this video, I'm going to share my aha moment. That's the moment where I knew that I wanted to eventually open up a nonprofit or just do more for women. So my story begins in 2022. I went on a missionary medical trip to Honduras, and it was something that I wasn't really looking for. It was something that was orchestrated by God, no doubt in my mind. And I will make a video about how that trip came to be because I think it's an awesome story. But yeah, I in 2022 I went to Honduras. I went on a missionary trip, and I was paired up with Dr. Trey. He was an OBGYN doctor from the States. So because he was an OBGYN doctor, a lot of the patients that we saw were pregnant. One of them in particular was a 14-year-old girl who really captivated my attention. She was 14. She was there for her first prenatal care visit. So that was shocking in itself. But I remember she sat down and she was anxious, she was nervous. She kept on scratching her lip. She had this medical card that we give the patients, and she kind of just kept on tapping it on her head. So she was definitely anxious and she was definitely scared. We were trying to figure out how far along she was in her pregnancy. So Dr. Trey was asking her questions like, when was her last menstrual period? A lot of the questions that we asked her, she didn't have the answers to. So yeah, she lacked a lot of knowledge about what was going on in her body or things like that. Then the next step was to examine her. So I asked her to go lay down on the table, and as she gets up, we see this big belly, and Dr. Trey and I look at each other like, there's no way this girl is 2 or 3 months pregnant. She's way farther in her pregnancy. So we do a sonogram, and it turns out that she was actually 34 weeks pregnant. So as I was explaining to her that she has 6 weeks left before she gives birth, and explaining other things to her, you could just see how naive she was about pregnancy or what was happening in her body or what she should be expecting pretty soon. And even though I was trying to explain it to her the best way that I could still see that she didn't understand a lot of the things that I was telling her. And I saw the fear. It was just really sad for me. I felt like I wanted to do so much more for her. I felt like I wanted to bring her back to the States and take care of her. I wondered how she was going to take care of this baby. So I also wanted to bring this baby back and take care of it. I just wanted to do so much more for her, but I knew that that was probably going to be the last time that I was going to see her. And as I wondered about her, the question that just kept on coming back to my mind was, how did she get here? How is she 14 years old and pregnant? What happened in her childhood? What happened this past year to her that she was pregnant at this point? And I think I saw myself in her in a lot of ways because, for starters, I was born in the Bronx, but my family is from Honduras. And when I was 2 years old, I was sent to Honduras to live with my grandparents from the age of 2 to the age of 9. The culture over there can be very unhealthy. So I was raised in an abusive home. And a lot of the things that I experienced as a child kind of led me to the point in my life at 18 that I was pregnant. And that's another way that I kind of saw myself in her. When I was 18, I became pregnant with my first child. And I was very naive at that point, even though I was an adult technically, and I was living in the States. I was very naive and even ignorant, very ignorant about pregnancy, or I had no idea how I was even going to raise a child because when I was younger, I didn't really have the best upbringing either. So coming back, I realized that I wanted to do so much more for women, particularly women who've had rough childhoods and who have experienced the effects of abusive childhoods as adults, because I've walked through that. I looked at my path and I saw how much my childhood affected me. But most importantly, I feel like I've been so blessed that when I was 20, I started therapy and I started working on my healing and working towards the effects that abusive childhoods have on adults. And when I was 25, I also found God, and he has been huge in my walk and overcoming a lot of the things that I experienced as a child. So the aha moment was seeing this girl and wanting to do more for women, wanting to do more for her, wanting to do more for me, wishing that somebody would have done more for me when I was younger too. So that's how I got to this point. In this past 2-3 years, I've worked a lot more on myself, because even up to my 30s, I was still having effects of my childhood. And I feel like I've gained enough tools and enough resources and enough wisdom to be able to share these things with other women and help them overcome their childhood and just the pain and the trauma that they've lived with for a very long time. So in my next video, I want to share a little bit more about the vision that I have for this nonprofit. And I just hope that you continue to follow me. I hope that you're able to see the desire that I have to help women. And I hope that you partner up with me and support me in whatever way I can. So thank you for spending time with me, and I will see you in the next video.